Yo, what's up, everybody? What's up? 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 Geektastic Cypher here on Free X Agents Media. You guys are watching us on the channel. You guys are enjoying the show already because you see our wonderful faces. You know we're here, and you know we're gonna geek the fuck out with y'all. I bleeped. I always bleep early at the show because I read recently that it does affect if you start swearing early on your opportunities and your visibility. So you gotta keep the swears to a minimum. You can't say this. You can't say you. You can't say, suck up. You gotta bleep them all out so that the kids feel comfortable listening to 5 grown-ass men talk about how much they find Monica Rambeau sexy as all in hell. And Monica Rambeau on WandaVision. I'm not alone. Don't make that.
I think you might be alone there. No one said anything.
Are you serious?
Don't tell me I'm alone.
What you guys are? What y'all are Wanda lovers out here? She's the only
no one was actually talking about how good anyone looked on the show except for you.
Yeah.
So
I don't objectify.
You're not exactly.
Am I supposed to pretend? Are we gonna do? Should I go back and find all the old recordings?
No. I mean, listen. Just because it shows where your mind is at doesn't mean we have to actually.
Very much. With Valentine's on its way and love in the air, my mind is on finding the perfect Venus for others' psyche.
Oh, I see. Okay, so Rambo is not for you; it's for others.
I'm taking.
You're promoting her so that her Mr. Right finds her because of this podcast.
I wonder if she does have a Mr. Right.
Going to battle for Rambo. You know what? I need to get you a shirt that says Rambo for Rambo. Yeah.
Oh Lord.
This is how we're starting.
She was there before Rambo, so everyone, it was funny because I kept hearing people talk about Captain Rambo and they're laughing, and I'm like, why is that funny? And someone was just like, like Rambo, and I'm like, y'all don't know the comics, do you? You kids are definitely the kids from the 80s who grew up just watching this Sly Stallone think he was a slick motherfucker out in the streets. No, sir. Rambo was doing it since the 70s. She was repping the name. She was the second Captain Marvel, even before your little Carol Danvers. So y'all need to sit down and calm up. Anyways, going back to the love discussion.
Speaking of love,
we got our guests. We got our homie, Wizzy I won't even try. Wizzy, say the name.
Wizzy Moonchaser in the building. I'm finally on Geektastic. It's the only platform I feel like the stupidest dude in the country. You guys are too smart. It's the only time I feel uncomfortable when I broadcast when I come up here. But listen, guys.
I don't even understand why.
I'm like,
I don't want to take up too much of your show. I don't ruin the thing. But Tobi and Skinny are like the 2 smartest brothers I've ever met, aside from Doc. And then you got Dave, was like, he's like in my top 5 coolest white guy of all time. I love me some Dave. Pause. You know what I mean? And we don't call you the Doc for nothing. You like Professor X in this game. Like, what's wrong with this guy?
That is great. I could see him in a Professor X type role too.
This the 1 year, and Skinny has known me for a long time, so has Docs. The 1 year I'm actually promoting Valentine's Day. So I do the only black morning show in the city called the Morning Detour. And this year we're doing the Morning Detail Speed Dating event. So now how this is going to work, guys. I got 2 great speakers in the beginning. I have Dr. Khan, he's a black counselor. And really we have him and David Archer in the city as black, therapist kind of guy. So I brought Dr. Khan out. I want to talk to the brothers. There's a lot of toxic things happening. I just saw Malcolm and Mary movie last night, so I know everybody's in a freaking toxic relationship. I know y'all want to talk about that later.
I didn't see it, but I wish I had watched it because I've
emotional roller coaster. And
I put that off. I put it off for a reason. I don't think I'm like there's too much stress going on right now. I don't need to watch stuff like that.
Let me tell you guys this. I never thought that I was toxic in a relationship. Maybe I've manipulated things. I'm very convincing. But if you're with someone that comes from a toxic relationship and you watch Malcolm and Marie, it's like 2 movies happening. There's one on screen and there's one person. My girl was hella uncomfortable. I'm like, she's gonna turn it off. It's a roller coaster. It's an emotional roller coaster.
Yo, I need to watch this because people are talking about it like it's like
that's amazing. Oh man,
yeah, it's wild. It's wild how people are talking about
the range, the emotional acting range on Zendaya is amazing.
Yeah.
She was great on Euphoria, but this was just like a tour de force on Malcolm and Marie.
Okay, I gotta ask you real quick as someone who's watching, and I'll let you get back to talking about the February 13th. Shout outs, don't forget February 13th. But is it like it was hard for me because I've seen her in Euphoria as a teenager, I've seen her in Homecoming as a teenager, and well, all the Spider-Man films as a teenager. I've seen her play a teenager for the entire time I've seen her on TV. I don't think I've ever really seen her play an adult role. Was it hard for you to adjust or shift your frame of mind while watching her in this role? As like,
because I think I heard a lot of people had that issue.
Yeah,
right? A lot of people felt like the age. I actually read online about people having an issue with the age disparity. But then when you look at her age and his age, you're like, well, in the normal world, that's fine. I think people are used to seeing her play a teenager, right? So yeah, go ahead. And how did that make you feel?
No, she's gonna need a couple more movies like this. But in the opening, I'm not gonna give away anything. In the opening, you see her in the doorway smoking a cigarette. So right there, I think was their shot to try to kind of break that between her being young and there's a lot of sexual stuff in there, even though Euphoria had a lot of sexual appetite as well. But this is great acting, and it was the ultimate portrayal of like toxic relationship to the max. Like Skinny, I can't wait to see when Skinny watches it. Skinny's gonna be like, "What the fuck is this?" All right, sorry, I can't swear.
No, of course.
No, you can. 5 minutes. Yeah, you're good. We're past the 5 minutes.
But great movie, horrible segue for love. But yeah, for those that are looking for a non-toxic relationship, if you're looking for love, if you're looking to connect, listen, a lot of us are home bored. You know, let's bring back love to the table. So this Valentine's Day, we're doing a speed dating event. We have 2 guest speakers. We have Dr. Khan, and we have Leslie Wardman. She is the creator and owner of a famous matchmaking company. So she has about 20 years in the game. So we have a matchmaker. We have a therapist, Khan, coming on. In between there, I'm doing a whole bunch of giveaways. We have cream clothing, Skinny. We have all kinds of joints being given away. DT Kicks is giving away a $200 gift certificate from his store. So we have all kinds of giveaways. We have Woke. She does like these eco-friendly products for your body. She has a special beard oil. So I have a whole box from her gift giveaway. And then we have the speed dating portion at the back end. Now I see Skinny's face now. This is how the speed dating works, and I've tested it out with my partner Lorena on Hoppin'. So say you're Skinny, you go to the networking tab when the speed. Just as an example, Skinny. I know you're practically married. Just an example. You go to the networking tab. You go to the networking tab when the speed date opens. It'll say click ready. Just tip of the StreamYard. It'll make sure your mic and your video is perfect. Once that is set, the system will automatically match you with somebody of the opposing sex. And now you see in the top right corner a 3-minute countdown. It's a 3-minute conversation. Next to the clock, you have a leave button and you have a connect button. Now, if you don't like the way he or she looks, or if you don't like something was said, you could press leave and it'll bring you back to the networking home, and the system will automatically find you somebody else to connect with. Now, let's say
that's cool.
Let's say the 3-minute conversation is amazing. Let's say, oh my gosh, you made a connection like she is the one. If you press connect and she pressed connect as well, at the end of the speed dating, you guys' contact information will automatically be shared to each other.
That's so.
And that's a speed dating event. Now, I'm getting a lot of pushback from men. I think it's a lot of black men. A lot of guys are afraid to come on here. The conversations are private. So even though we're organizers, we can't see the conversation that's happening in the speed date. So everything is private. On the main stage,
anonymous.
Yeah, so on the main stage, for those that are not taking part in speed dating, we'll do some more giveaways. We'll play some music. It's gonna be a vibe. It's hosted by myself and Kate, and you guys know, how I go about my hosting. But we're finding that a lot of men are shy to come on and do this.
Interesting.
And I have so much women that are already signed up for this event. I got mad women just there waiting for guys.
Guys, what are you waiting for? Why are they scared? Are you hearing reasons why?
I had somebody tell me what happened to the blurred community, and you guys are like the forefathers of the blurred community, if not from Montreal.
Yeah, but we settled early, unfortunately, so we can't.
You guys are the Rushmore faces. I'm talking about some of your constituents. I know there's some blurred guys out there that's looking to connect.
For sure.
And don't think it's just a love connection. You don't have to go into the speed dating and say, you know what, I'm gonna find love. But some people are just bored. We're all facing this pandemic thing.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a conversation, if you're looking for companionship, you know what I mean? Everybody's love story starts different. Yours can start here on February 13th. You can provide and get tickets on Detour 514 on our IG or on our Facebook, The Morning Detour. It's only $10. We're over about approximately about $1,000 in giveaways. Only $10 to jump in. Only $10 to jump in.
And you get to connect with people, period. In these times, in these trying times, if you have nothing to do, you might as well try to connect with people. It'll save your sanity.
It's after curfew, even if you're in the 6 regions that Legault said, we're gonna push it to 9 o'clock because the hour or hour and a half is a big difference.
Yeah, the virus after 8 o'clock in those regions kind of just
moves different.
Yeah, that's what it is. Because that makes sense. That's a
conversation, I think.
But it's a great event. I want to thank you guys for having me on Geektastic. But yeah, the more Detour Speed Dating event, February 13th, happening live on Hopping from 9 to 11. You get tickets at Detour 514 on IG or on the More Detour on our Facebook. It's gonna be a great night, man. Let me tell you, I'm looking for love.
That sounds like fun. I actually would participate if my situation was, you know what, you just participate anyway, right? If you're looking for a friend, doesn't really matter.
Like, you can still win giveaways. You can still win giveaways.
There you go.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, if I was single right now, I would totally, it would be something to try out because it's just like we said, there's a pandemic, it's after curfew, you're not doing anything, you're at home, it gives you an opportunity on the Friday, talk to people, get to know people, do that connection, and it's more interesting than just Tinder or any of those other dating apps. Like in the short time that I use those dating apps where you're just kind of like looking at a picture and flipping, I would have rather, no joke, I would have rather
have a conversation.
Someone. If I could have just spoken with the person. Like there's one time I matched with somebody. We didn't end up talking, and then I bumped into her on the street, and her and I ended up talking. Her and I ended up talking at the bus stop, and then when at the end of the conversation, we ended up at the metro, and I'm about to get on the metro, and I'm about to get off the metro, and she's just like, "Oh, I didn't get your name." And I'm like, "Oh, it's Brian Holiday." She's just like, "Brian Holiday? Why does that sound familiar?" I'm just like, I was just like, I don't know. I do podcasting and stuff. She's just like, no, not that. And I'm just like, oh, I'm about to get off. And she's just like, no, wait, are you on like Plenty of Fish or something? I'm just like, yeah. Is your name Brian? Yeah, it's my name. She's just like, yo, we matched. And I was just like, I'm like, thanks for I legit said to her, thanks for messaging me, and stepped off the metro as the doors closed.
That's great. Block.
Amazing. I applaud this move. I wasn't trying to be rude.
It was just
petty as shit. I don't applaud that.
I do.
I wasn't trying to be rude. Move. It was just like,
not rude at all.
Yeah, like we matched on this thing and you didn't answer my message, but now you meet me in public and we interact and you find me interesting, and now it's just like, oh, and it's just like, nah, it's good. You're good.
It's true. At least give a chance for a conversation.
Exactly. Nah, your pictures probably suck.
Being someone who's had to use those apps for a while, and then I'm happily taken now, but it was so frustrating to have that. There would be definitely one or two encounters that if I was in that situation, I would have the exact same response. I'd be like, well, thank you for messaging.
Yeah.
I'm so happy with this response.
But this thing, guys. For me, I think there's a clear distinction between eHarmony and Match.com and Tinder and the hook. But they're all quote unquote dating platforms and dating websites.
Yeah.
But obviously some are just for sex. Some guys are just looking at, are just gonna look up. Women are looking for relationships, even on the Tinders and stuff. More or less on Tinder, but there's a disparity between the two things. And eHarmony and Match.com are like two of the top online dating sites in the world right now. Like I did research on it. They're doing crazy numbers. But black men don't like speed dating. Black men don't like online dating for some reason.
For some reason. There's a big reason.
Hold on, wait. What's the reason? What's the reason according to you, Skinny?
Skinny, what's the reason? I think I want to say it too, but I'll let you go first.
No, I'll let you go first.
No. You can't do that. Yeah, you can't do that.
Answer, but I'll let you guys go.
I'll back you up if it is the same thing. If not,
and then we'll let Dave go second.
Yeah,
I'm speaking from my experience using Tinder in the early days when Tinder wasn't messed up through algorithms, and to be quite frank, I didn't get much love, and it wasn't because of me and not being the right kind of person. It was legit possibly because I guess early on in Tinder, if you were like one of the like good looking guys, you're getting fed everything. Yeah. But if you're not getting any kind of swipes whatsoever, whether you're black, Hispanics, brown, purple, whatever, you're pushed down to the very, very nitty gritty of like the netherworld. So you're not seeing anything.
Oh, interesting.
That's crazy.
It's really bad. And then the women you do get within your range, because it was when I was at Ubisoft, but I would also be living in Dorval. So your location changes based on where you are according to your location, right?
Yeah.
So it would just be bad. The age range you would get, like when I'm back home in my apartment, is like legit like 21 to like 33, and like sometimes you're getting matched with men just because there's just no women.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Straight up, it's like men are showing up because it's like, oh, okay. And then at Ubisoft, when I'm in the Rosemont area, I was not. No.
Yeah. There's something going on there. So that's why I understand how come guys want to be more open to like a speed dating situation where you can see the person. It's 3 minutes. You have the option to leave, and if you do connect, the system will match you at the end.
And there's no catfish. The great thing about this event is there's no catfish.
No catfish whatsoever.
Jay Grizz, he said you leave tonight.
That should be your slogan.
No catfish.
No catfish.
No catfish.
Right now we have a disparity. We need more men to sign up. The women is locked in. We got man. And it's open out worldwide. So we have women from the States, Toronto. Like, we just don't have enough guys. We need to get more guys on this.
Yo, if Mike K is in here, I'm going to tell you, Michael, you need to get up on in this. And I got some other boys that I'm going to get in on this too.
$10 with $10 giveaways. The women are already there. The pool is there. the
pool is there.
But listen, I want to thank you guys for having me on. I love Geektastic, man.
No doubt.
Media for life.
Wizzy.
No doubt, man. Yo, real quick, before you bounce though, because I know you have things to do. You got places to be. Also at 8 o'clock, if people are on Clubhouse tonight, right after Geektastic Cypher, I would say if you're on Clubhouse, jump over to Clubhouse. The Morning Detour, Kay, Wizzy, and our boy Akeem are going to be hosting a conversation specifically similar to this one. Why are black men not as interested in speed dating or dating online?
Oh wow.
Yeah,
really. Okay,
well, listen,
cool.
I've never done a room on Clubhouse before, but all the young people around me, like Kay and Akeem's, like, you gotta do it. Listen,
Wizzy, you know what you got to do for me? Because on the back end of this whole Tinder thing, I really want to say them apps aren't for black men.
Yeah, that's what I saw online.
You're really not gonna get any kind of love. If you're light skinned, by all means, you're getting all the love. All day.
Right? Or if you're Tobi, because you know Tobi's profile picture is gonna be his 22 pack. It's all here. It's all
listen. I'll let you guys in. I'll let you guys in on a secret. I've never used a dating app. Not because of any like preconception. I just never did. And then the one time I actually even ventured into Tinderland, I was in Buffalo, and
but Buffalo.
The reason being is that the Adonis just walks down the street and the women flock to him naturally.
No, I just do my Terry Crews peg pops. That's all.
Like a Hulk and people came. Fuck you, Tobi. No,
to kind of add to Dave, I mean, it's not so much him being Adonis, but like Tobi, we just work better in person. Right?
Yeah, it's just it is.
Yeah. So that's for me, it was always the case. Like, an app with my picture and me and this nerdy background, you're gonna be like, cool story, bro. But then you meet me in person. Like I said, you meet me in person. We're standing at the bus stop. This girl had a full-on paper map in her hand. I'm like, yo, you're throwing it back, huh? And then that just started the conversation. Right. She was trying to find somewhere for some reason, wasn't using a phone, had an actual paper map, and that started a conversation. Because me, as a genuinely curious person, if you're going to be standing in the streets in 20 whatever it was, anytime
looking like you're looking for Carmen Sandiego out here.
Yo, Tobi just put it right there. That would have been an opening line. That would have been. You would have seen this girl and been like, "Yo, you looking for Carmen?" Like, that's an opening line.
Yeah, exactly.
My opening line was, "Oh, we're throwing it back Google Maps style." Like, we just come up with something silly, and you just start interacting, and next thing you know. Exactly. So that's why,
that's, you know what? And speed dates will sharpen those skills,
exactly.
guys. Which is why this is probably a good resource for people. If you ever want to get comfortable within that environment, 100%.
And it's super bad because remember, traditional speed dating, when the world was normal, you'll be in person, you can see the other tables with other people.
Yeah.
Here it's all random. It just pops up. Like me, Lorena tried it, and she was in it, and I clicked ready. I was like, oh my gosh, my heart was beating fast. I'm like, I want the system to work efficiently. Yeah. And then once you click ready and your mic and stuff is good, a girl just pops up, and then the clock starts, and you feel like sweat. We even put together a list of icebreaker questions, and it's based off of stuff that we researched and based off a study at Harvard where they're trying to like manufacture new ways for people to break the ice in conversation. We even created a graphic with questions that you can ask. Questions you can ask. You know what I mean? Like,
wait, so you're giving people conversation starters?
Yeah.
Guys, this is like
you got Wizzy giving you an alley-oop. You got Wizzy giving you an alley-oop. All you have to do is show up and interact, and it's $10. And on top of that, the $10 is good enough for you to just be like, oh, you know, okay, like this is an opportunity. They're also giving away $1,000 worth of prizes. So on top of just this fun interaction, it's just like, oh, and you might win some really awesome stuff. I mean,
couples massage.
And another benefit for that, being someone who has done speed dating at a bar before, you'll actually hear the person that you're talking to, because when you are in that environment between the music and the other people talking, sometimes you're screaming at the other person, almost like borderline, just so they could hear you. So now it's not going to be awkward. You could actually have a conversation.
Yo, Wizzy, can I be the guy at the door that just like vets what people are wearing? So like they pop in, they get me, and I'll be like, "Don't wear that."
No, like some guys are asking me like, "Yo, can I preview the girl before she comes on?" Like, no, dog. The system is just gonna pop her on. Like, you guys just gonna pop boom like that. Like, it's. I thought it was really phenomenal. It's really sad that more guys don't want to try it out. And plus, you have nothing to lose. There's nothing else going on, and it's something fun. I'm gonna host it. It's fun.
Yeah.
Some really dope girls are gonna be a part of it, man. They're already signed up. So you listen. If you're looking to do something fun, something different for Valentine's Day, this Saturday, 9 to 11 on Hop In, the morning detour, speed dating.
Yeah, do it, Jay Grizz.
Jay Grizz was like, I want some ass.
That is great. I was gonna put that up on the screen, and I'm like, I don't know if I should. I don't know if I should put that comment up there.
You guys have such a good chemistry on Geektastic. Like, you guys, man. Every time I come on here, man, you guys look like y'all having the best time in your life. Pandemic hasn't even shifted you. Dave,
we look forward to this. This is the only thing that's been constant for the past year.
Remember when I said that a couple months ago, and you guys laughed at me?
Dave was like a trucker.
We probably did.
They were going on. Dave's moving all the food from Walmart. Dave's like, you got the big 18 going on, Dave. I love Dave. Dave's my guy. Oh man, good times. I can't wait for us to meet up in person again. Tobi, listen, I've been trying to come to Toronto for like months now. Every time I try to go, they lock it down. You know, we got Ford over there talking 18 different languages. I'm like, who taught you, fam?
Dude, did you see that video? That was the most embarrassing video for anyone listening right now. Just look up Doug Ford. What is it, like saying wear a mask in multiple languages or something?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It sounds bad.
It was so cringe.
It sounds bad. Right?
Terrible. You guys are the best, boy.
Good to see you, man.
Yeah, man. It was good having you. Wizzy, thank you so much for coming through. Anytime. If you want to stay for this next segment, you might have something to say. We're going to be talking about how Jay-Z is being tapped to enter the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
You guys are killing me. I have to go prep for the club.
Okay,
but I know
we understand.
I saw that shimmer in Skinny's eye. I've known him a little bit. I know him a couple of years. I saw the shimmer in Skinny's eye. Skinny's ready to pounce.
It's going down.
Well, yeah, you guys are the best, man. Yo, listen, y'all need to invite me on this show more often.
No,
my show, more than welcome. What do you mean? Dude, you have the link. All you have to do is just check. Walk in. Just pull a Kramer on us, bro. Just pull a Kramer and just like
brother man from the 5th floor. Just pop in and be like, man, you guys are the best.
All right, Wizzy.
Peace.
Take it easy, brother.
Yeah, that's awesome. Big shout outs to Wizzy. Always amazing, always entertaining. That's wild. Yo, once again, you guys definitely go check it out. It's happening this Friday, February 13th. You guys check out at Detour 514. Follow them on Instagram. Get all your information. Once again, if you guys are looking to, if you have Clubhouse and you want to jump on the app at 8:00, the Detour is having a little conversation, little break it down with Akeem. So that's gonna be dope, guys. They announced the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Inductees, and we got Mary J. Blige, we got LL Cool J, we got Jay-Z,
Tina Turner.
What's the criteria for the Rock and Roll
25 years? 25 years from when your first album dropped is when you're eligible.
Any genre is eligible.
Okay. Yeah,
that's
my
I
thing.
a little weird.
I like
again, hold on, mind you, this is not the first time they've inducted rappers. It's happened before.
No.
But
wait. Skinny wants to Skinny's like chomping to say something.
I guess so. Go ahead.
Real quick. We still don't have our own shit.
We do. Rewind.
Yeah.
Okay, because I feel like a lot of people don't know this. There is a hip hop Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's 20 years from when your album's released,
Cool.
but no one fucks with it, and they don't have any support, so their shit don't look good. Like the site's not good. Like,
however,
Jump
I
back.
don't mind us doing the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame because we invented that shit anyways.
yes, facts, big facts.
That's not a problem with me. Anybody beefing about Mary J and Jay-Z going to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, see previous point.
Yeah, but still, they have songs that are of the same. Like they have aggressive songs that would still qualify as rock, though.
Regardless of it qualifying as rock, we invented the shit. Doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah,
I don't know the backstory of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, so I'll cool.
No, he's talking about just rock and roll and music genres in general.
Okay,
Dating back to
That's
Chuck
a
Berry. So if we go all the way back,
he was walking around the streets,
jazz
and Elvis
anyway.
and the General, and all those guys started walking around behind them, picking up every song they sang, and Teef and everything, and then that's just what it is. Shout outs to Dr. Trevor Payne, Afro-American Rock Studies, John Abbott. Anyways,
but it goes ragtime, then it goes blues, and then it goes into R&B and jazz, no? And then that leads to rock, no?
I love Dave.
That's literally the class. No, I know. You're essentially that's what the class was. When I was in school, we did we took Afro-American Rock Studies, and everything you're saying is the same thing. And I'm happy that you know it. Once again, as an ally, shout out to you for knowing your shit. But there's a lot of people out there who don't know their stuff and will turn around and start saying like, why are we putting rappers into the rock and roll?
Okay, so it seems like they just appreciate music in general. Now, in terms of who they choose, I don't know what their
it's just
process
a music
is. Right. Okay. But it's just called the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame because
I mean, like you're not going to have.
Well, this is when it started in rock.
Have we had? I'm sure there's been pop stars in.
For sure, Michael Jackson's in there.
You think someone like Britney Spears is going to go into the Rock and Roll?
Britney Spears could eventually go into the Rock and Roll.
Yeah, he definitely could.
Yeah, he probably will.
Maybe that wasn't a good example because I can imagine there's some songs.
But here's the thing:
it's not based
pop
on the
music,
songs. Yeah.
Pop music is just pop. It's what's popular at the time. Like the Beatles are in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame because the Beatles. So Britney's one day is going to be considered eligible. Actually, Britney is probably eligible now because I would say her album came out 25 years ago at this point. No,
Maybe like 98, 97,
98.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think maybe another 2-3 years, maybe.
Yeah, she's going to be eligible soon.
I think of this list, because they have 16, and of this list, your 7 get inducted, and they would make it, in my opinion. I mean, when I'm reading this list, my top 7 in no specific order would be Mary J, Foo Fighters, Iron Maiden, Jay-Z, LL, Rage, and Tina Turner.
Chaka Khan, bro.
Chaka Khan.
Chaka Khan. But that's because you don't know who that is.
That's it. Like Dave hasn't listened to Chaka Khan that much. Chaka Khan should like if you're going to ask
Khan
me
over Mary, if you're going to do it.
Yeah. It's like Chaka Khan and Tina Turner and Dionne Warwick.
Yeah.
Already.
Dionne Warwick in there?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Dionne Warwick's on the list. So,
what is your okay? I feel like Skinny has a gripe with maybe the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and then the people chosen as inductees this time around.
No. For me, I was going to say what Skinny was going to say. I wish the Hip Hop Hall of Fame. That's why I specifically looked up the Hip Hop Hall of Fame.
Oh, right.
Hip Hop Hall of Fame to get it signed. And I want it to be better organized so that when we talk about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and the Hip Hop Hall of Fame, we say that shit in the same breath as with the same prestige. Because right now, when I look at the Hip Hop Hall of Fame and the inductees, they only have inductees from like the 90s and then 2010. And I'm sorry, the 2010 list, Eminem got in already. Tupac, Biggie, and then Eminem. I'm like, what about Jay-Z? What about like the list of people I feel that would go before Eminem? And no hate on Eminem. He's a talented rapper. He's one of the best lyricists. But when it comes to hip hop, how is Nas not on there first? How is Big L not on there first?
You know what's funny about that is
Everlast too.
Man, that's tough.
But
yeah, I don't know. That's why I said I don't know what they're picking or who's obviously it's just it's subjective. It's some people in a room going, we think this person should make it this year, not by merit, not by anything else other than popularity more than anything.
Does this Hall of Fame work similar to how sport Hall of Fames work, in that you only have like once you're nominated your first time, you only have so many years afterwards before like you're not allowed to be like, I'm not sure if it's 20 years after, or you're only allowed to be nominated so many times, and then you're actually not allowed to be nominated anymore. Like that's how
I don't think so.
Baseball Hall of Fame works.
I don't think so.
I think
like for example, like once you're an athlete and you've been nominated, you get in the one time. It's not based on how many teams you've played on, right? For example, like if I was a baseball
but I'm saying like let's say you get nominated now, but you don't get.
But I'm just I know. I'm just saying. Okay. If you're on a team, it's not based on the team you're on. Like Jordan doesn't get to go in with the Bulls and then for the 5 minutes he played with the Wizards. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Tina Turner is already in there with Ike and Tina Turner, and now is eligible to go back in as a solo artist.
Oh, okay.
And stuff like that, you know. So that stuff like that, I'm interested in, and I like the fact that because to be honest, I would if I was Tina Turner, based on the history of Tina Turner and Ike. I don't necessarily want to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame associated with my abuser. I
for
did
sure.
horrible things to her, and for her legacy right now in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is tied to someone that was abusive and disrespectful to her and who she was as an artist. So I would love to get her flowers and for her to get in on her own merit. I mean, she got in the first time on her own merit because she was the star in Ike and Tina Turner.
I think calling it the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is like makes people feel like it's stuck in a specific genre. Yeah. When you really think about it, though, like a lot of these artists are quote unquote rock stars. They live that lifestyle, whatever that lifestyle is. It should be called the Music Hall of Fame, but then you're opening it up to a much bigger pool of people around the world, because then anyone's eligible. So I think keeping it under the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is their way of keeping it sort of a small, selective group. But then, is that inclusive?
But if you turn into the Music Hall of Fame, it's essentially the Oscars at that point, almost. Like
no. It's the Hall of Fame.
No, because you're not giving them the award every year repeatedly.
Right. Yeah, this is like the Hall of Fame, much like sports, because what you're equating it to is like if you were to win, I don't know, MVP in the league for something. Like I would consider that.
Yeah, I guess. No, I get you're saying.
Yeah,
that's fair.
When it comes to this, though, my thing is, I agree with Tobi. Like, I feel like the reason that they kind of skirt the idea of Music Hall of Fame is because they want to keep it very much English.
Exclusive.
And English. Like, none of these.
You think that?
Yeah.
No, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame doesn't include, as far as I've seen, and
international.
I don't see that many. As well, there might be international. I don't see as many.
Fela Kuti, the Nigerian guy.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like, look at the list. There's 16. Fela Kuti is the one. You know, like everyone else on that list is a predominantly English American artist.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Like I don't know who Todd Rundgren is, and I know someone's gonna come for my neck somewhere for that.
How could you not know the guy who composed this music that the guy was playing in the car by like guy in that movie, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Hey, if we're gonna get, I'm gonna say it this way: if we're gonna give Dave a pass for not knowing Shaka Khan, give me a pass for not knowing Todd. That's all I'm saying.
Todd.
I don't know who Todd is.
Todd.
I don't even know Todd. I'm looking up his best singles now.
Do I even know Todd? Do you know Todd in real life? Does anybody know Todd?
I know Todd. Only Todd I know is Jason Todd.
I know Todd.
Say what?
Okay.
What?
All right.
Dave?
I said the only Todd I know is Jason Todd.
There's
a crappy nerd show. What a nerd show. What the fuck's wrong with you people?
Todd Rundgren is an American multi-instrumental singer, songwriter, record producer who performed a diverse range of styles as a solo artist and as a member of the band Utopia.
Cool. Okay.
Anyways, I know if I'm happy. Welcome back. So that's my point. It just goes back to what I was saying about the fact that like he's English. Like all these people are just English artists.
You actually know who won't show up on this list?
Who?
Country singers won't show up on this list.
Actually, they're having country singers in the Hall of Fame.
Because they have their own. That's what I'm saying. They have their own and they're very high on that.
Country's been had their own thing. Country's probably the most established like genre on its own in music because they want to keep it.
Yeah.
And that.
Yeah, as well.
Country artists. Are you saying they're not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
I don't think
no, they are.
No, they are. They are.
Hall of Fame?
Maybe, but they are in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought that they separated.
No. They're separated.
South, you know,
One genre. Wouldn't it be weird if country was the one genre they didn't include in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Well, you know how people always say, I like everything but country. Country's like, we like country, but we don't like you guys. So.
Exactly. It's very true, though. It's very true. It's ridiculously true.
That's a weird thing. And it's funny because, but you know what? Country nowadays, like, I'm not going to hate on Kane Brown. He's the only black kid doing it, but Kane Brown jumped out with, did that song with Sway Lee, and I don't remember who the other person was. And I was just like, I'm not mad at this song. It wasn't that bad. And then,
Sway Lee's been dipping in that cultural international musical waters recently.
Yeah. And then we all know Old Town Road is country, but they didn't want to give it country.
Oh, that was deep. That was so blatant. Jesus.
Yeah. That was like that. That was like that Morgan Wallen kid, and you're just like, okay, you're all like that. We get it.
that was crazy. I actually think they just weren't ready for that kind of attention on country. Or like, was it the trap beat? Really, at the end of the day, that's the issue. Because I've heard country songs with some.
Yeah, exactly. He's black. He's a black man. He was singing country. They and they were
I'll
just like,
that.
You're gonna counter that. You do okay. Yeah. Let's hear it.
Well, Hootie, country singer.
Yes.
Other black men, country singers. So it's not because he was black. I don't think. I think it's because he was young and he was calling himself Little Nas X, and it was the trap beat, low key.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's definitely the trap beat behind it.
I think part of it was because he was black. Because all the examples of black artists, those black artists don't get shine on the same level as the white artists.
Yo, I guarantee you, if Billy Ray Cyrus has sung that song originally, it was country, regardless of the trap beat behind it.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. If
they're just gonna be like, "Whoa, this is
nail on the head." Nail on the head. If Billy Ray had done the song first and Little Nas X came on after, they would have counted it as country. 100.
Yeah. They just didn't know what to do with it, and they just stuck to their guns. Period. That was it.
But were they so wrong? Because look at Nas X's track record now.
But he had no choice but to pivot. If it had worked out, he might have stayed in that country lane. You never know.
I don't know.
But now he had no choice but to pivot if that was the case.
Panini
was not. Panini was all right, but nah. Panini to follow up with bro.
Wait, what do you mean? Like you're saying he didn't stick to country? You're saying that he's not as good now, or what are you saying?
Ultimately, he didn't stick to country.
Oh yeah, okay, same.
And he's also not as good.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm not. I don't know.
Listen, look at Old Town Road.
I'm Homer.
Look at Panini. Just
no, for sure.
And Panini has a great hook. It's just like
he became radio formula. He's a pop kid. He's a pop kid now.
He fell under the pressure. That's what I think.
Yeah, that's it happens to some people.
You think he fell under the pressure? Interesting. I just had a conversation. I
think he fell into the pressure, like the what's it called?
The formula. He fell into
exactly.
Because we just had this conversation, me and my colleagues, and we were all talking about like one-hit wonders, and I was just like, I don't think I could call Lil Nas X a one-hit wonder.
No,
because he had a year, 2019, touching over into the beginning of 2020. He had a year.
He's still going. He just had a couple of singles released. Like he's still.
Yeah, but
the thing is, he allowed himself. They said, "Hey, we can make you bigger. Just allow us to run you within the machine." And now he's in that machine.
That's what I was saying.
If you think about it, he really had like the last big hit song because there's songs that have come out, but while we were going out, people are gonna remember that. Like I don't hear anybody singing "Low Key Fuck 2020," and that was an alright song. Yeah. But
I love that song.
That's true.
Yeah, it's a great song, but nobody cares.
I know. It was on my list. It was on my list of tracks people should have paid attention to. You know what? We're gonna get
super hard.
But you guys already heard it, but I want to play it again. We're going to play this message from Wizzy and Lorena explaining their event coming out this Friday. We'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere, guys. Geektastic Cypher here on Free X Agents Media.
Yes, everybody. It's Wizzy Moonchaser here from the Morning Detour.
And it's Lorena.
Let me tell you guys something. I'm so excited for February. It's all about love, baby. On February 13th, we're doing our first Morning Detour speed dating event. We have guest speakers, we have giveaways, but we also have speed dating. Lorena, how's this going to work?
Well, it is going to work. It's all virtually, so you're not going to be like in a big room how it normally is, set up at a table, go through the line of people. This is happening virtually. So at the event, our host, Wizzy Moonchaser, will direct you to the networking tab. It will only be open after all of our speakers have gone through their presentations. So what you do is you hit the tab, and once you're in that tab, you'll click ready once you're ready with your mic and your camera, and then the system will go ahead and connect you to the person. So once you're in that room with the person, you have 3 minutes to talk to them. If you like the vibe, you're vibing with the person, you click the connect button. Once you click the connect button at the end of the event, if that person also clicked connect, you will the system will share you guys' information. So then you guys can take it outside of the event and continue on if you like. If for whatever reason you're in the virtual space with a person and it's not going well, you can click leave if you want, and then the system will look for somebody else to match you with for another 3 minutes. And so this will go on for a period of 30 minutes.
Whoa! It's looking so different. This has never been done before, Montreal. It's the Morning Detour. You know how we do things. And we also have some very, very exclusive giveaways as well. If you're looking for love, if you're looking for partnership, if you're looking for friendship, I urge you guys, join us on the Speed Dating Morning Detour, February 13th. Listen, everybody's love story is different. Yours could start with us on February 13th.
It's going to be fun.
Bong, folks. All right.
Back like we never left. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time.
You make that song yet?
Nope.
Before Jay Grizz jumps through the screen and starts punching us in the face, I guess we should really jump on this
WandaVision.
It's Geek News and Rumours.
No, it's not. What are you talking about?
Where are you?
Tobi's not even paying attention today. All right, Tobi.
Listen, I heard Wizzy's energy and it made me automatically want to turn mine up to freaking 15.
Jesus. WandaVision episode 5. Skinny, you and I discussed it right after because we had so much to say. We had to jump in. We made a little video, but for everyone who hasn't had a chance to weigh in, to give their 2 cents,
let Tobi and Dave go.
Yeah, hit us.
Oh,
I didn't get a chance to hear your guys' thing either yet. So
because you're a piece of
shit.
You're on the damn shit. You're on the. How are you even gonna watch a 10-minute fight?
Come on, man. It's a 10-minute video, Dave.
Shit.
10 minutes.
Watch it on the toilet.
Just
Jesus.
him.
Literally just do this on the bathroom.
That was a good one, Dave. That was a good one.
That was all right.
Oh boy.
All right. So you guys had some interesting points in your video.
Yeah.
And then I asked you afterwards if you thought that Monica Rambeau had her powers before her interaction with Wanda or after her interactions. And
I mean, you got to break it down for the people in case they haven't seen it.
Yeah, because remember, not everyone got to see the video yet.
Right. So
we appreciate everyone who did. Shout out.
So in the latest episode of WandaVision, there's a scene where Monica is she just came through the barrier that Scarlet Witch created over this town that she's creating. But when Wanda did that to Monica, I noticed that the hue kind of was enveloping. It was almost like it was absorbing within Monica as she was going through that barrier. Just go back and rewatch that scene again, and you'll see what I'm talking about. So then they ran some tests on Monica at the camp where Sword is holding out next to that town, and the results came back pretty much blank. Like it was almost like there was no way to scan her body. So it makes you think there's some kind of interference between the machine and Monica, which to us fans, we obviously know that photon.
Yeah.
And honestly, in that episode, she says the word photon.
Yes.
She's explaining something on the board as she goes, the photons, but the electrons, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh, great.
It was her mom's call sign, right? In the yeah.
Also, it was her mom's call sign.
Yeah.
So it just, to me, I felt like that was a catalyst for her abilities, and that Monica in this universe is more than likely a mutant. And because Wanda is possibly is going to be our entryway into mutants, I feel like that's going to be the origin of her powers. It's almost like Monica, it's almost like Wanda activates that mutant gene.
I don't know. I'm not on this mutant train yet.
You know, okay, why
mutant train yet?
That might be a reach. That part might be a reach. I feel
I'm not bad at theories.
I can make a bigger reach.
Oh God!
Okay,
no.
That's a counter argument.
Are we all ready for? Okay.
Although I can't
wait, hold on. Can I just say, everyone get a shot glass, and for every time Dave says, "and the mutants," we take a shot because.
No.
I'm gonna put a little something into my shot glass here.
Although I came to the same conclusion that she probably has her powers because of obviously the knowledge that we know and all the points that Tobi brought up.
Yeah.
In the heat of the moment, and for a while in the show, I was debating whether or not that's actually Monica or if that's just another person that, like, a decoy that Wanda put out there and is actually holding Rambo prison inside her universe.
See that, Dave? That's a reach.
Okay.
I said I can go to reach.
That was not a reach. That was a leap to another universe, bro.
But that was kind of a cool idea. If the idea is, like, when you do the X-rays, the reason she's just light is because when she came out, she's not actually a person. She's a recreation from.
Whoa.
That would be.
That'd be cool.
I know that's a big reach. You dislocate your shoulder. But I respect it.
What do you guys think of Hayward now after this episode? With how aggressive he is on certain things, where you're just like, what? Why are you so aggressive?
Hold on. That's my thing is everyone keeps saying, "Oh, Hayward has to be somebody." Now, don't get me wrong; he might.
I don't think so.
But I don't. Okay. Oh, thank you.
At best.
I'm just concerned.
That's fair.
As to why he is so aggressive towards, like, wanting to kill or take down Wanda, and that, you know what I mean? Like, like, what is his reason for that?
He's an everyday fearing white man who hates something that he doesn't understand.
That, or
but that's too easy. That's too easy. That's like, yes, it is. That's like Thunderbolt. America. That's like Thunderbolt Ross. It's the same thing.
But that's the archetype. That's I agree with Skinny. I know what you're saying. I don't like. Okay, it's because Tobi, all of us have said it. We don't like when they start just using archetypes to tell stories. It gets boring. Yeah. So if Hayward is just a Thunderbolt archetype, where it's just like you're just a white man who's scared, and this is how you react because you're just like, I don't know how to handle this, and I want to control everything. You start acting the fool, and if anything, it's more dangerous for you because you're not taking the time to actually pay attention and to learn what's going on. And then next thing you know, you got 7 dudes with sniper rifles aimed at you, and now you're pissing yourself saying, no, don't kill me. It's just like, well, homie, had you just listened to her for 2 seconds, this might not be the problem.
So I have a theory that might exonerate him from that for a tiny little speck. It's that when Wanda came out, she didn't specifically say, like, I just came to take my husband because I miss him. She says, I took him because you took him from me.
Yeah.
Right? When in that video, in that security footage, you saw that they pretty much had dissected Vision.
Yeah.
It looked like, and almost like they were going to use him. And how did Hayward know about Vision's living will? To not be made a weapon, but then yet here you have him in a lab dissecting him, potentially trying to recreate him, maybe bringing Ultron back.
Yes, because I actually was thinking the same thing as Tobi. So
I mean, it's how does Hayward know about that? Is the same way as how does Wu and Monica and Darcy know, like, real crazy details about a battle they weren't at?
Yeah, that's fair. That's something you were saying before.
There's a lot. No, sorry. I was saying Hayward is scared that the rest, Monica, everybody is going to find out that they were using Vision as a weapon. At sword. But he's trying to cover it up. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think his thing here, even though it's so extreme, is that trying to cover up some malicious government intent here that could potentially break the Sokovia Accord.
That, or there's the concept that potentially he may have had someone he cared about at Sword when Wanda broke in, and because Wanda was going crazy, not paying attention, could have hurt somebody.
Let me hit it.
I will laugh if my reach is hit.
No. Again, Dave, you're giving us the safest answer, and we're hoping that it doesn't go that way. Because
exactly.
I hope it doesn't.
Those are all very like the Thunderbolt archetype is exactly that. Like, Betty got injured. This is why I'm such an angry guy. Anyways, skinny hitters.
Hayward developing weapons that kind of get leaked out into America because he's low-key selling them, aka Baxter to Armor Wars.
Oh yeah, I've heard that. I've heard that.
Yeah. 100%.
Hayward is doing some backward shit that they're gonna have to come back and clean up because he did something stupid.
Which is why I feel they're bringing Ultron back, or he's gonna come back in some way.
Maybe not Ultron, but what they do recreate will probably be White Vision.
Which is what I was expecting. I was hoping that we would, because that's what some people have been saying, that we're gonna get White Vision or whatever version of White Vision they want to do.
Like calling him White Vision.
Yeah. Was he gray? Was he Gray Vision?
I thought he was gray.
Gray.
I actually think they're gonna go the route of having both. They're gonna have the normal. They're gonna have White Vision at one point being used as a weapon. Then that kind of turns one type, and then they get real Vision to come back to kick his ass.
Or maybe they're already creating Gray Vision, and they fear the fact that the actual one will still be alive. It'll compete with their model. Who knows? I just feel like Hayward is a little too aggressive for what I'm thinking he's there for. Which is why it would be nice if he was in some way connected to Mephisto, like a larger, grander story, and we could be like, "Oh, wow!" But I would hate if it was that archetype.
Who is the guy that actually does the whole puppeteering of creating the kids, but isn't Mephisto? Because in the comics, it's a dude, but it isn't actually Mephisto. It's Agatha. It's another dude, and then he takes part of essence of Mephisto.
Yeah, Mephisto's soul to create.
Who's that guy?
I don't remember.
Because either he's the missing person or Hayward.
Yeah, we'd have to look that up. That's a good theory, though. But I know who you're talking about because I know Mephisto's not the one who puts his
It's like puppet master or some kind of shit.
So FYI, I think WandaVision is like essentially what we're gonna get as House of M.
Don't you keep saying House of M?
No. I'm not
saying every week.
No, I'm saying like how they use the word Civil War and then they did like a crappy version. Well, a small version of Civil War.
I understand. It's just you've said this before. We keep telling you we don't agree with it because this is not the first time you've said. I said
I was hoping it was going to lead to the movie franchise. I think this series is it.
No, there's no way
blow their load on House of M.
Yeah, man.
No, you're not going to get the results. I'm saying you just like how they did a crappy Civil War. They're just taking an element of House of M, and this is all you're going to get from that story arc ever.
Dave, tell me this: what is going to be the no more moment? What is she gonna say?
No, I'm saying like, what we've seen so far, like basically, House of M was supposed to result in like not having mutants, etc., etc., etc. But the essence of House of M was seeing Wanda manipulate the world. And
I mean, this draws from House of M.
This draws from House of M in that sense. And I think in the Marvel U, that's the only like initially I thought this was a precursor to the House of M.
But
now,
that's not
what I'm seeing. I don't think that at all. No. I think this is at most again you're going to get.
I feel like doing it this way is so limiting for what she could do. In the comic book, she literally changes the world. You guys are talking how she changed Westview, New Jersey. Like, come on. I know you're saying it's going to be a shitty version, but
I think the hex barrier is going to grow. She's going to lose control, and it's going to spread. This is where this is headed.
I don't know, guys.
Why would but what else would explain this whole Spider-Man reality Doctor Strange thing aside from Wanda losing it?
Here's my thing though.
Okay.
I feel like people are trying to tie everything in and trying to understand everything from 9 episodes of a show that I think will touch on things and will set things up, but I don't think is going to be as drastic a change to the universe as we're expecting. I fully expect that. You said 9 episodes of a show, but how long is each episode?
About 30 to 40.
Yeah.
But not
and if you divide that up in movie terms, how many movies is that?
Yeah, it's multiple movies.
You can do a lot in 9 episodes. Yeah.
For sure. But they're not producing this like a movie that's building up to something bigger. They're producing it like a contained story that does have elements from the other like parts of the universe, but I don't think they're using this to like completely like, yes, I expect the Doctor Strange stuff to be affected. Yes, I expect something to happen with Spider-Man. Is she going to be the trigger that causes everything? That I don't know. That's what
you've been against this trigger for a little while now.
And I'm with Brian. And the reason why I'm with Brian on that, and the reason why I'm with Brian is on that is because there was a lot more betrayal that happened to Wanda that got her to recreate Ultron and do Avengers Disassembled. This is petty shit. She's not gonna fucking destroy the world and do all this stuff of a multiverse.
In the comic,
over what? Wait, hold on. Over what? One thing you were saying? What's the one thing?
Not one thing. It's because it's a buildup of things, right? But in actuality, because somebody stole Vision, you're gonna fuck the world, nigga.
No, it's the catalyst. There's always a catalyst, right? But it's the straw that broke the camel's back. And you have to accept it as such, but regardless of your feelings behind it.
That's what I'm saying. I understand that they're not going to build up as much as they did in the comic book, because in the comic book, it's like a cascading effect. Dominoes, multiple things fell into place for her to get as angry as she was.
If you counted it, though, in these movies, there's about 5 or 6 things that happened to her throughout the course of the Avengers that we could say could have caused.
She lost her brother, killed people, and
lost her parents in a genocide, practically.
Oh, okay. You guys are talking about stuff from before she got.
It all adds up.
I feel like
it all adds up.
I feel like
she caused the death of people in Lagos or Lagos. They're not pronouncing that correctly, by the way.
They're not?
No, it's Lagos.
It's like when people say Antigua, and I'm like, stop.
Yeah. Exactly.
Stop putting that word in your mouth.
But it's Lagos in Portugal, so they went with the Portugal pronunciation because there's a place in Portugal called Lagos.
Okay.
Anyway, there was the whole there's just Vision, her and Vision always wanting time to themselves and completely getting screwed every time. Like she could just never get away from responsibility. And then the one person who she was finally eye to eye with on everything is taken from her again. Come on, man. And then on top of him dying, the government is experimenting on him. That'll drive you insane. What do you mean?
She saved the world just to fuck it up.
Thank you. That's my thing.
But here, she made a deal with someone, and I think that's what we're gonna find out.
She spent so much time trying to be a hero. She spent so much time trying to reform for the things that she's done. Mm-hmm. She's evolved past, yes, the trauma of losing your parents, major. But the version of Wanda we got by the time she's helping the Avengers after her brother died doesn't seem like the same person who would all of a sudden just snap. Granted, killing people.
Yeah, how can you say that? You can't say that. Everyone's mind is different and fragile, especially hers. And on top of that,
she's not a real person. She's a character that these writers can write any way they want. And I'm saying I don't want them to just make it that she snaps that easily, because I think the things you need to do to Wanda for her to get that far should be more than the things they've depicted in the movie so far. That's
correct. And I also think she's being mind controlled, because we had many clues in these last 5 episodes
you and I were saying that.
Right. She sat down on the couch with Vision in the last episode where they were arguing, and she's just like, I don't even remember how all this started. That's a clue.
I have a weird feeling that it's not as easy as just Wanda. Went to Westview and started doing this stuff.
Right. Same. 100%.
And the Wanda, like you said, the Wanda, again, that we know, to me, wouldn't just go into Sword and start blowing people up and start destroying stuff to grab Vision's body, because another clue was when she comes out the barrier with the drone after they sent the drone in, her accent, she turns back into Ultron Wanda. Her accent comes back. Yeah, that was thank you. I thought,
which is why she has these personalities that someone is controlling. I feel it just comes out. There's TV Wanda, there's real Wanda, there's
a little bit.
She just suppresses her accent until she gets angry. Like, Mom, we have foreign parents. What do you mean?
Yeah. That's a fair one. I can see that. But I do think that, to me, I've been watching this show so eagle eye closely just for those little things, and those little moments to me matter, I think. Again, they're arguing, and at the end, sorry, go ahead. I'll jump.
Well, essentially, I was just going to say, I agree with you. And I think one of the things that we keep seeing is that, when she goes at the end of Endgame, the person who was on the edge of the water, who seemed to be kind of not at peace, but able to deal with what was going on, blowing up Sword and just grabbing, that's
right.
Something happened. Either something happened, or
she was planning it there. She was just happy to see what she was going to do.
Okay. Possible day. Possible playing nice so she can murder everybody.
Another reason why I think her behind everything is when her and Vision again at the end were talking, and he's like, "Oh, by the way, Marvel, everything that happened after their argument in the kitchen that led to them sort of with Pietro showing up at the end, it's a post-credit scene because it happens after you roll the credits of the TV show.
Oh yeah.
Let me touch on that.
Speaking of that, I just want to say I loved that interaction when Vision was like kind of like, what the hell?
That's how you know that's not the actual Vision.
Huh?
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, that's a whole other thing. The version of, because Skinny and I have been saying it, the version of Vision that we're seeing now, who's so emotional and is reacting this way, and even she says, you were never like this before, and he's just like, I don't even know what I was before Westview. I don't remember anything, which to me seems super weird that he says, I don't remember anything before Westview, but he's also just cool living in Westview. Like if I woke up with my partner in a city and I don't remember anything before I was in the city, I'd be like, bitch, where are we? What is this? Who are they? What's going on? And so the fact that he's only getting annoyed about it now was kind of funny to me because I was like, didn't you think this was weird before? Anyways.
But I think it's I think the real Vision's still dead. Like his body's still, it's the consciousness that it's like, oh man, there's a story I know like this. I think maybe
I think she animated the body.
I don't think that. I think it's like
I said that and you guys didn't think that was the case.
I'm putting his mind like this.
What?
Yeah, but dude, why would she take the body if she's not going to? First of all, like we said, she's able to create 2 kids out of nothing.
Yeah,
how is she not
a body is not hard.
Yeah. Sorry, Skinny, you were about to say something and I cut you off. My bad.
I'm just gonna go on and say, okay, Dave, I agree with you, but I don't see them using this big. I don't see at any point her saying no more Avengers.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm kind of like, yeah, I could see it being their version of House of M, but House of M is too big of a cookie for them to sprinkle these crumbs on a 9-episode TV show. They're gonna milk that if they know it's good. And they're not going to, and they'll milk it in a different way where they'll have a reason for there to be only X-Men, and they'll probably say no more Avengers after they do a small rendition of Avengers Disassembled. Where they'll do it, I don't know, but there's going to be a reason for them to need young Avengers, and I think it's going to be Wanda fucking shit up and making Avengers disappear. That's just me, though.
I think we've always said that we should just always view this as another run of someone else's interpretation of the universe, right?
Right.
So we shouldn't expect the same stories recycled. Right.
I just, but I
no.
Yeah, I just.
Well, it is the same stories. They're just doing them in different ways. What I'm trying to say, not necessarily recycled. But yeah.
Tobi, what's the one thing we always say?
If you're gonna do the same thing, you gotta be original about
it, and you gotta do it better.
Do better.
You can't just be original. If you're gonna do it and you do it less than, you wasted your shot.
Right.
That's. I think that's what Skinny and I are saying.
But this did also just kind of hit me, and while you guys were talking. And our friend Baron Moto is fucking out there. Carmodo. And he knows magic. He knows mind control. He knows he could do that shit if he wanted to.
Yeah, there's a few possibilities.
And that's an interesting way to tie it to Strange.
300%.
Yeah,
he doesn't necessarily have to be the main villain because he wasn't the main villain in Doctor Strange 1, but he could be a subsidiary because Homeboy
he was I guess touted to be the next villain, right? At some at the end of the movie, so it's possible they bring him back. 100%.
But his arc might not even end in Doctor Strange 2. He might just be using Wanda as catalyst, making deal with Mephisto or some sort of devilish character to make himself ultimately powerful, and then Doctor Strange and the Sorcerer Supreme, who we think is homegirl in the town,
Agatha Harkness.
Not Agatha Harkness, the other one.
Agnes.
No, Brian, you know what I'm talking about.
Clea,
yeah.
Oh,
Dottie.
So I think Dottie's Clea, which would be a reason for Clea, Strange, link up, take down Mordo.
Where has Dottie been? Okay, so the one scene that would make sense to me now because the one scene she appeared in, she implanted the thoughts of kids. For the children, where everybody started saying for the children, and it's just like what, and then she disappears for 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Pretty strange.
And she's not even on the wall, by the way.
Yeah.
That was another thing. Guys, we definitely, we got to go on to the other shows because this is just going to turn into the WandaVision hour. But we didn't even talk about it. We didn't talk about it, which was the biggest thing. So we'll end off with this and we'll do the round table. Everyone's thoughts on the appearance of an established Fox X-verse Quicksilver.
Oh,
Dave,
that's
you
my
go
favorite. Yeah,
Tobi,
I'm
let's
down.
start with you.
I love that version of Pietro.
Okay.
It's I'm down with it. I was down with it from day one. I was waiting for this.
Is this the confirmation that mutants now exist in this universe, or is this just her creating something? And
I hate to say it. I don't think she's the one creating it. I think someone else is behind it again still.
Fair.
But I'm not sure if this is the X-Men Pietro.
Okay,
we'll
Dave, hit us. Your turn.
I'm very happy how they did it. I like how they actually addressed it. Like, oh, she recasted Pietro.
Yeah,
I thought that was like,
right.
I thought the actual implementation was great. I think that assuming that whoever's behind this is going to be the villain or part of the villains in Doctor Strange 2.
Yeah.
I actually do think this is going to be Marvel. I think it's Fox's Quicksilver, because it would only make sense if, assuming in the madness and in the new Spider-Man movie, we're dealing with alternate realities and having multiple Spider-Mans or villains from different Spider-Man universes. Why can't this be that guy?
Okay.
It makes only logical sense.
Skinny, your 2 cents?
I think he doesn't know who he is.
Oh, interesting. Well, he does refer to as the long lost brother, though.
Long lost brother, right? But I feel like he doesn't know where he is. Or
He's playing a role too,
right? So, like, if he leaves the bubble like Monica, he gonna be like, "Where the fuck am I?"
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Because I feel like he's legit plucked. I feel like he was actually like, whoop, from his universe. Like, don't know.
Interesting.
Next thing you know, you're just in a show.
3 episodes.
I know, right?
4 episodes.
Yo,
No, 3.
3 episodes. 6. Oh wait, no, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, we're moving on to the next. We're moving on to the next show, but those are all great ideas, and I look forward to seeing what they do. Once again, you guys know we record the show on Wednesdays. If you're watching this live, if you're listening to the podcast on Friday or any day after, we have not seen the latest episode, but we might again do a quick little mini thing if the episode blows our minds, because we like to stay up on stuff. So make sure you follow us on Instagram at Geektastic Cypher, the same way it's spelled here. If you're listening to the show, you already know how it's spelled. Tobi, SnowPiercer season 3. I've been watching.
You've watched the latest 3?
I've watched all of them.
This is a far better show than I expected it to be. And it's actually keeping up the pace. I didn't know where they would go from how the season 2 ended, and just the way this season started with what's his name? Well, actually, what's his name? The W guy.
Wilfred.
Mr. Wilford. I just wanted to touch on the fact that I wasn't expecting this level of action from season 3. I wasn't expecting the Melanie side story here with her getting off. Oh, I guess I can't really give. I can't give away too much.
I mean, I feel like I don't think it's that big of a spoiler that she decides to do something for the greater good. I would say don't say the reason, but you could say that she does leave the train at one point. Yeah,
she does leave the train at one point, and it's determined, like you said, to be for the greater good of the whole world at this point. But just to see Sean Bean in this role, the moment he came on screen, I was like, oh, he's going to die.
Yeah.
Okay. That was my first question. Did he die?
Dude, that's the one thing. Like, casting Sean Bean is such a internet troll joke.
It's an omen at this point.
Yeah. Like, you watch the show. I was watching, and I'm like, I've seen Sean Bean die in almost everything I've watched. So the joke was, I'm like, are they going to, like, they did so much buildup to bring this dude in. They can't kill him. But you know what? I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with the show. I did say, I kept telling my partner when we were watching that one of the reasons that Ice Bob was being tested is because he's going to be sent on a special mission. If you've watched the show, Tobi, I imagine you think the same thing as me.
Icy Bob.
Icy Bob. I see him. So if you guys want to watch a good show, it's available on Netflix. SnowPiercer season 3, season 1 and 2 are there. Very interesting show. Originally a TNT series.
There's a movie. The movie's good.
Yeah.
But
not the movie though. So this is a different version.
Yeah,
but once again, like we said, if you're gonna do something, do it better. I feel like they're doing it on par, or if not better. Than I wasn't sure at first, but I feel
not to the same emotional aspects as the movie. But it keeps you engaged. It's really good.
100%. Yeah, it's definitely different. I'll do a quick one for you guys. Space Sweepers on Netflix. It's a Korean film. Definitely has an international appeal to it. The cast, a lot of the earlier scenes has a lot of international casting and stuff like that. I give it a thumbs up. If you like Cowboy Bebop, this is very much in the same line of space opera. And
there's a ton of Korean shows on Netflix.
The Koreans
and movies.
Yeah, the Koreans and Netflix have some kind of sweet deal because the movies and the shows have been quality. I gotta say, they're good. Like this Space Sweepers, the quality on it, like I was just like, yo, this is good. Like this is this is not cheap. Like, you know, as a kid, you kind of grow up with the idea of like no one does it like the Americans. These guys are doing it better than the Americans. Like the graphics on this stuff, like this was sharp. So
yeah, they have the Uncanny Counter is another one that's pretty decent.
Oh yeah, that's the other one I wanted to watch. Yeah, so you know, if you guys are looking for another movie, remember Netflix said they got 52 movies, one for each week of the year. I'm guessing some of those movies are going to be some of these Korean films and stuff like that.
Yeah. I think they're just dropping those outside of that time frame anyway. They're outside of the 52. Yeah, it's crazy.
Okay, if that's
so much content.
Yeah, so check out if you're looking for a fun like movie, space opera kind of action thing, Space Sweepers is dope. Check it out.
Dope.
Skinny.
Yeah.
Big things. People are excited. Stabler? Is that it? What I was missed. How do you say his name? Christopher Maloney's Stabler?
He's not on this season. He actually is gone.
No, I know, but he's supposed to be coming back.
He's supposed to be coming in his own. He's supposed to be getting his own Law and Order show.
But the premiere of his show is going to be a crossover with them. That was
always usually.
Yeah, Ice-T posted a picture saying, "I can't wait till y'all see our episode drop." So that's why I was just like, "Oh, I'm excited."
I've been jumping around in SVU, and it's usually on like syndication. But this is a new from this season. Last night I watched "Remember Me in Quarantine," which okay, it's a thumbs up, but it's a thumbs down in certain aspects I noticed in the show, especially from cop dramas. And Tobi, Brian, Dave, you might even notice this. It's supposed to be a drama, I understand, but there's a little. I literally need to do a clip show on this. It's called "White People Yelling at Cops."
Yeah.
All day on Law and Order. I'm just like, now let's put this in a real life situation. If a cop is interrogating you and you're in their office being interrogated, how are you yelling at the cops more than they're yelling at you?
Yeah,
and that's what happens all day on this show. So in this particular situation, we're dealing with a foreign exchange student from Italy. She was killed. People are trying to figure out what's going on. It's going on during quarantine. So this is cool to see how they kind of did that.
Yeah.
You have the cops walking around with masks, and then they're going into like check out a crime scene, and then they're taking off their masks. I'm like, that's not how that works, but okay.
Yeah. Is this ABC?
This is NBC.
Yeah, NBC. Okay. I noticed some shows like that 50 Cent for Life show. There's some episodes with masks on it. They're all deciding to be in the present time.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of which is weird because For Life doesn't need to be like about him in the past. But
yeah,
anyways, that's a whole other thing.
Like
Sorry.
Law and Order, they throw it in. Like they'll do like I think there's a part where the cops are talking outside of their interrogation room, and you see the person in there getting tested. And Danielle was just like, "Oh, well, how come they're showing that?" I'm like, "They're literally showing that once, so they never have to show it again."
Yeah.
Like it's for normality. Like here, we're wearing masks. Everything is in quarantine. Never again.
Yeah.
So what they do is the thing about this episode is that they interview a bunch of people and they get to a black dude, and everybody refers to him as the black dude Sean, who might have slept with the girl, so they automatically think it's him. 3 or 4 people make references in the show. I don't want to be racist, but she brought home some black guy, and some black guy. Anyways, long story short,
and she's a white Italian woman.
White Italian woman. As I mentioned to Danielle, you want to send a black dude that might have killed an Italian woman back to Italy to deal with that? Don't do it.
No.
Not good.
He's not coming out alive.
Right? Okay, so long story short, he didn't do it. And it was like a weird roommate who got jealous of the Italian girl sleeping with a black man and happened to bash her head and kill her.
Oh, shit.
Right, but check this out. The black dude.
I like how you just skirted over that like it was nothing.
Murder.
It's SVU. You only know
it's not the worst on SVU.
You know, it's the third guy that they show 20 minutes in who seems like he's like super has a reason to not do it. Like, me and her, we were friends. We might have been in love. I could never have done that. And I don't want to be racist, but she brought home some black guy. It's like, okay,
right.
He's also an actor that you see on like 7 other shows playing a murderer.
Right, exactly. What they do about this, and how I like they identified it, is that at the end of everything, they had like 2 people that were taken to jail. And the main cop, she's like, yo, but what about Sean? They're like, yeah, there's not much we can do for him. He's like, he's in Rikers, and all he did was steal a passport and jewelry. Like, we need to get him out. And they're like, there's not much we can do in like 20. And it's like,
Isn't that the same story as the Khalif Crowder?
Bomb. So they do that, and the way they kind of rectify it, she's like, just drop the charges, and like that's it. So you kind of like get these different perspectives of like how yo man, this show. All I gotta say is thumbs up because but a little weenie thumbs down for what they did to my man Sean. Because again, all he did was steal a passport. It's illegal, but you don't need to go to Rikers for that. And that's that out.
Damn.
Wild. Okay. On that crazy intense note, we're gonna no. I mean, that's it. It sounds like a good episode, and the story that they're touching on is an important one that needs to be told. So, kudos to them for dipping into those waters because it's definitely not the easiest thing to talk about. I mean, it's not the easiest thing, but it's definitely something they should be addressing more often, especially on cop shows.
They skirted over it really nicely, but I like how they still skirted over it.
Yeah.
White people screaming at cops though on that show. They need to chill that out. I don't know.
Yeah, that's crazy. Guys, you know what time it is?
Let's go.
Here we go. Geek news and rumors. We got some big ones. We got some wonderful ones this week. Spider-Man 3. Tom Holland denies that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are going to appear in his film.
I love this one.
Dave,
I love this.
Before you raise your hand and say something, I'd just like to point out that Tom says if they did do these, it's possible. It would be almost impossible for them to have kept it a secret from him, but he knows it's something they would probably try and do. Dave, go ahead.
I feel like this is an inside joke against Tom Holland. I feel because in prior movies, he's like let out secrets by accident by saying stupid shit.
Yeah.
I think this time they went up to him and they're like, you're going to lie and you're going to say to everyone that they're not in it.
I have another thing here, though.
Like, they're making sure that he lies this time.
None of those were accidents.
I actually don't think he lied.
Yeah.
The operative line here is they will not be appearing in this film. What if they appear in Doctor Strange instead?
Which is what some people have been saying.
Yeah.
Bong. Yes. Because some people
are saying... That's how you get it out of his system.
Right?
People have been saying...
They're like, you can say this.
Right? I don't think these guys are showing up in any of the MCU films. I know everyone's excited at the idea. I don't think Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are actually going to show up. But
cool.
If they do show up, if they do show up, Doctor Strange would make more sense as someone who's tapping into the multiverse as opposed to Spider-Man's film, where we have no reason to assume that he's going to be in the multiverse yet.
And which comes first?
Spider-Man's film, there's confirmed bad guys from alternate realities.
One bad guy.
Well, one bad guy.
Two.
Okay.
Electro and Doc Ock have been confirmed.
Nope. Electro himself said, I might not be. He's like, if I get the call, it would be cool. He said,
I thought, no, didn't they confirm it a week or two after?
No, that's the thing. Everyone has been confirming, quote unquote, confirming. And the confirmations have all been these third-party nerd sites that, don't get me wrong, they've broken stuff in the past, but just because you've won the gold medal once doesn't mean you get the gold medal every time.
Yeah, you're not us.
Yeah, fair.
Yes. Keanu Reeves formally offered the role for Kraven the Hunter in solo film. See, this one is a rumor from one of those exact third-party sites. Now, again, I'm not mad at these guys for being good at what they do. The Illuminati is the name of the site. They break a lot of stories. They've broken some stuff in the past. They have a nice track record. But when they say something's exclusive, it's the type of site where they have no confirmation from anyone else. They just say, a source has told us.
He's the front runner. Which I love.
It's
Keanu.
John Wick without guns. It makes sense.
It doesn't make sense.
Nah.
There's a certain level of animal and grittiness that I would want to Kraven I just didn't know how to formulate that real quick, but that I would want from Kraven that I don't think we're gonna get from Keanu.
Hold on. We have a moment. We have a prediction.
No. If I wanted Keanu,
your prediction face.
No, it's not a prediction phase. If I wanted, think of Tormented. Think of not actually a villain in the Marvel universe, and think of a guy that is extremely powerful, and they have to usually lock him away that might make him crazy. And I'm not thinking of not even Namor and not even Norman Rad. I'm definitely thinking of Michael fucking Korvac. Yes, you don't know Michael Korvac.
Wait, why am I drawing a blank on that?
Yeah, you need to look at Michael Korvac. Because Michael Korvac, he's essentially like a nuclear bomb. Like he'll just like combust. But they had to lock him away, and each time he forgets who he is, he doesn't realize what he can do, so on and so forth. And
that sounds like Sentry. What?
No, look up Michael Korvac.
I know. I've seen it. I actually know who this character is. I just don't know him by name, but just by looking at the picture, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, that guy.
Correct.
Why would they? Why? This is so obscure.
Because again, where they do pick obscure and make it big shit, and that would be perfect for Keanu Reeves, I think.
Who's the dude that's remember
I'm
when
sorry, House of M, you're gonna
Yeah.
What?
You're fishing, bro.
I'm
reaching, you're fishing.
This guy's pulling out House of M
You're on
every
a
week,
boat
and
in
you're
the middle
going
of
loud
nowhere, and
amazing.
you're doing this.
That was
I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. This guy.
Real quick, what's the name of the Canadian kid that's an Omega level mutant who ends up joining Alpha Flight, but the first time they meet him,
Kid Omega?
is that his name? Kid Omega?
Or something
He's like-
Omega?
He's like found in Canada. Like he got his powers because when Wanda said no more mutants, all the
he got all of them? Yeah.
remember, like the energy, they were just like, you can't say no more mutants and the energy dissipates. It went into someone and it went into this guy. And I have the comic.
They need
I
a
don't-
century to beat him. I read your comic.
yeah. I don't remember it though.
He killed Alpha Flight. He destroyed Alpha Flight.
He murks them. I don't remember his name though. I'd have to look it up. But that character is someone that, if we're going obscure and super powerful and interesting, that's someone I wouldn't mind seeing them try and tap and bring into the MCU. It would be really interesting to see them try and play with that. But yeah, so that's the thoughts on Keanu Reeves. We got just now recently they dropped the pictures of Jared Leto, first look of his new Joker. Oh,
Don't
good.
care.
I'm not the only one who does not give up anymore. Like
care.
I'm over.
Yeah, dude, I'm tired of this.
Who
Yeah.
cares?
Okay, good. Cool.
I'm tired. I'm tired of
I put
the
it
black
'cause
and
we're
white.
Yeah, I put it because we're supposed to talk the news, but I'm over it. I'm
This
over
movie's
it.
gonna suck.
Yes.
Can we talk about this when the movie comes out?
No, because I'm not gonna watch it. This movie's gonna suck.
Yeah, I don't know. This is one like this is
Oh,
gonna be
no,
the
I'm
first
gonna
time.
watch it, but I'm not gonna necessarily.
That's because you're wearing a Nightwing hat, nigga.
There's no
This Nightwing?
also
Sorry.
Nerd talk, bro.
there's no way these are not new photos and he's trying to pass them off as old ones.
right?
Yeah,
Do test shots in this makeup. I
Yeah.
don't believe that.
it's boring. It's boring. I
Yeah.
like. You know what? I was more excited to hear Jason Momoa possibly being Knuckles.
That's ridiculous.
What? That's amazing.
Yeah. Why wouldn't? Who do you want to voice Knuckles?
That's
why,
enough.
why are
You
you
want to know the real answer? Nobody, because I don't give a shit about this movie.
What?
Oh,
No,
okay.
man. Sonic was good.
Yeah, Sonic was good.
All right.
Sonic was a good movie. Out of all the movies that,
Yeah.
like, out of all
From video game to
video game
movies. Yeah.
remember we were supposed to make a list and we never
Yes.
did. But
There's a
Sonic-
reason. There's a reason we never went back to that list.
Sonic is solid.
Yeah.
HBO Max bets big on animated series. The reason I put this one specifically,
This made my day. This made who found this? Which one of you guys found this one?
I put that one on the
holiday.
list.
You literally made my day by posting this.
So this one, I know people are going to be excited about Clone High, Velma, and stuff like that. And I'll go back to those in a second.
Sure.
But I want to say a big shout out to Obi. Obi is an Instagram comic artist that I follow, and the fact that he got tapped through Michael B. Jordan's Outliers Society and Michael Schreiber's Studio 71, they're working together to bring Obi Arisuku. Arisukwu. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing that, but
Ruined it.
he does a popular Instagram comic. It's really good. You guys should follow it. He does some great comic strips, and he's been tapped to give us an animated series, and I'm looking forward to that. Going back to the other shows, though, yes, Clone High. Dave, that's the one that you were super excited for. Yeah, so I know a lot of people. A lot of people are excited. I'm a big Clone High fan.
It's coming back.
Yeah, they're rebooting it. Yeah. Is it? Wait,
I don't know. I don't understand how it will survive in the current climate of things, but I don't care. Bring it back.
yeah, because that show, the original version of that show, definitely crossed the line on a lot.
Big time. Oh
Yeah.
wow,
One-
that Mission Hill. Oh my god.
Can
Yo,
because of Gandhi, which makes sense, but like, geez.
Yeah. I mean, we're gonna see Velma, which is gonna be an adult animated comedy series telling the origins of Velma Dinkley from Scooby Doo. Is being voiced by Mindy Kaling.
Wow, they're gonna do Harley Quinn with Velma.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm looking forward to it because
I am too, because they're gonna make Velma some sort of like wow.
yeah. I mean, we've all seen the pictures of the nerd pictures of Velma. People already fetishize the curviness and
100%.
genius of that
And you
character.
guys are weird. Let me just tell y'all are weird.
Yeah, they're a little.
You need to chill out. You need to chill out.
It's like sometimes like I'll be on my blurred groups and there'll be like girls cosplaying and you're just like they're like, so this is my waist trainer for my Velma costume. I'm like, why are you wearing a waist trainer for a Velma costume? I'm like, what's happening? Why does Velma need a waist trainer? But anyways, it looks good. Y'all are excited. You're living your best lives. This show's probably gonna give people even more interest in cosplaying. So shout outs. And Velma's a cool character. She's I like
one.
Yeah, exactly. And then this is the one that I thought was funny. Pete Davidson got a show, and the reason I like this one is because it sounds super interesting. It's Fired on Mars. It is an existential workplace comedy set on a Martian campus of a modern tech company. Pete Davidson voices a character, and one of the things that I had read was, if I understand correctly, the character has the ability to see 5 seconds into the future. It's not written here. 5 minutes into the future.
Well, because at the beginning of the thing, it says it
breaks it down. Yeah,
essential work comedy set 5 minutes in the future. So I'm assuming that that was a typo, and it's probably 5 minutes. He could see 5 minutes into the future.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. So that's interesting. What else do we got here? What else do we got on the docket? CW and HBO Max in talks to co-finance new shows.
Get CW out of here. I'm done. I don't even want to see what this is.
But you know what?
That's all the best shows.
I know you said that sarcastically, but even saying it sarcastically out, like my hand going up was to be like 1 second, but it wanted to turn into a backslap.
All right.
I think this is a good move because it is the way they're going to try and get the CW out of here. Because instead of the CW being like, instead of the Viacom CBS being like, we messed up, CW is not working. What they're going to do is they're going to work with Warner Media and they're going to start doing the HBO Max thing and start phasing out the CW and start phasing in HBO Max stuff. I think
CW's streaming deal with Netflix is running out.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
so
okay.
There, I think that
yeah. I didn't read that part. That's exactly as to why they'd want to do this. Man, Netflix is so screwed long term. I mean, I know they're working on good stuff. They have vision, they have a plan, but I'm just saying everyone's pulling their stuff because they don't want to help them no more. So that's
Paramount has a freaking streaming service coming.
Well, that's just CBS All Access being retagged. It's CBS All Access is just rebranding as Paramount Plus.
Interesting.
And they're gonna incorporate more Nickelodeon and all that stuff. Like the original CBS All Access didn't have as much cartoon stuff,
right?
Shifting it all into this.
Yeah.
So it's gonna have like more MTV stuff, like anything under the Viacom CBS umbrella is gonna be Paramount Plus.
We left television and cable only to now have a different version of television and cable.
That's a title, by the way. How did it take Disney Plus a year plus to actually Disney Plus itself? And HBO Max just ninja vanished and ninja appeared like, hey, I'm HBO Max.
HBO's been doing it longer.
Yeah.
HBO literally had just went into their storage and went,
yeah.
Like, come on, man.
HBO, funny enough, HBO, like Toby said, they had the model. They had HBO Go.
For a long time.
Yeah, they just didn't work it the way they should have. Because if they'd done this from the get-go, Disney wouldn't have even had a chance to step into the game. That's the thing I didn't like about everyone jumping into the pool when Disney did it. Because Netflix had already been doing it, and HBO could have done what they're doing now years ago. But once they saw Disney jumping in, they're just like, oh no, now we got to play. And I was like, that's weird. Why did you guys wait so long? But whatever, they're doing it well. So, and we'll see. Fingers crossed. That's the other thing, though, with all the movies that they have, they're supposed to release all their movies through HBO Max. But at the same time, a lot of the co-production companies are still trying to stop them from that. So
I think it's because Netflix laid a blueprint, like did it, and is a valid use case as to it being possible. But I think all these other networks feared they didn't have enough content for a streaming platform. Not realizing they could partner with different studios and just not necessarily have only their own content, but actually expand beyond that, which it is weird that it took Netflix to do it for them to go, hey, we can do it too.
So poor Sony with Crackle. Never got off the ground.
Man,
The CW hands pilot order to Ava DuVernay for Naomi, the Powerpuff Girls live action reboot of Millennial Nun dramedy, and also it's not in the title here, but the 4400 are getting a tap. They're bringing that back.
I don't want to say anything bad because it's good.
See, that might have to be the title. I wish
what you're saying.
I wish we could make the title an audio clip. Like, 'cause that's what sold that. Like, like I just like fuck you. Like you said it's good the same way someone would say fuck you. Like it's good.
Oh my goodness.
I'm not here for the Powerpuff Girls live action. I don't know.
I know,
who thought that was a good idea.
Yeah, I don't know.
Berlanti. Once
Of
again.
course, of course.
That guy's a pervert, bro. Yo, like, come on. There's not enough clues.
Yo, okay, so for everyone, there is a live action version of Powerpuff Girls on YouTube. I believe it's on YouTube. It's called Buttercup. It's actually a story based on Buttercup, and seeing that made me never want to see them in live action ever again.
It's not bad, right?
It showed me that what's the point?
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's 3 children running around beating. No.
But they're not going to be children. Aren't they going to be teenagers? It's going to end.
I'm sure.
Worse.
But
you know what?
Yeah, I was about to say, like, that sounds like it makes it a lot worse.
It's essentially going to be like the Wink show that Netflix just did. It's going to be the same
Winks,
thing.
Yeah.
The
they're going to be cussing because Buttercup's going to cuss somebody out. That's for sure.
Marvel's Blade movie taps writer Stacey Osei Kuffour, known for Watchmen.
Cool.
Which, nope. I'm
the TV show Watchmen?
Yeah, she worked on the TV show Watchmen. Yeah.
Good. That's all I need.
That's going to be dope. Watchmen, as we know, was very successful and awesome, well written. So, starred Regina King. Shout outs to the Queen.
Just don't fuck it up.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's MCU. Well, I have hope. And the original Blade movies were solid before MCU was even involved.
Yeah. They're gonna make sure she succeeds.
Yeah.
It's gonna be that. They'll put the right people around her and make sure it's every first person of a certain thing to do something Marvel has succeeded. So we'll be fine.
Even Thor, which wasn't a great first movie, but they managed. Yeah.
You know was really good.
Thor 1 was okay. Thor 2.
No,
I like Thor 2. Black Panther was really. I watched Black Panther a third time around, like yesterday or 2 days ago. Much better third time around. Second time I fell asleep.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Third time I really liked it, and I'm with Tobi now more with Killmonger. Like, yeah, they really kind of wasted.
Yo, I wish they didn't go through that whole killing off for villain thing with him. He's the only one I wish that for, because I was like, they could have done. Now he killed himself. They were like, we can. I know.
He was like, fuck that.
But, I mean, yeah. I rewatched Joker the other day. First time,
another go.
Oh, I haven't rewatched that. How was that?
First time it's good. Second time it almost feels too fast because you know everything that's about to happen. So as you're watching it, I was just like, "Oh, it's done already," and I was just like, by the time it gets to the scene where he's at the house, he's already smothered his mother. He's home alone. And his
his mother sound like a rap there for a second.
And he's at the house, and his friends show up. The little guy,
and he kills him.
Yeah, and he kills the big dude and tells the little guy, "You can leave," and then scares the little guy. I was watching the movie, and I honestly, it felt like I looked down because I was building a Lego set. I looked down and I looked up, and that scene was on. I was like, "Already?" I was like, "That's crazy."
Yeah, you're probably right, because I think it's weird when a movie surprises you and you're just not expecting. It was a movie I didn't know where it was going.
Exactly. Yeah. But then once you know and you're watching it, you're just like, oh, okay. Like, I understand. Okay. And it just kind of flows. Watchmen. Oh, speaking of Watchmen again, Helmer Nicole Kessel set to direct The Wonderful Wizard of Oz for New Line.
Why do they keep remaking this thing? What is so special? I don't understand what's special about Wizard of Oz.
Yeah. They've made so many versions too.
They need to just do that. Why? Yeah. Why?
I don't know. I honestly,
we're asking you the question. Like,
what did you do?
Got the
I'm with you guys. I'm with you guys in saying, like, I don't understand why it's such a popular. Like, the Wizard of Oz the first time, great.
Yeah,
the Wizard of Oz, the idea of the story is interesting. The like sci-fi remake that they did with Zooey Deschanel that like no one watched was fun. I like that one. I think it's called.
I don't even know of that.
Yeah, what's that?
I think that one's called Tin Man, and it's Zooey Deschanel, and she plays Dorothy.
A long time ago.
It's like a modern day update of the story. And I watched that one, and I was just like, oh yeah, 2007 Tin Man, Zooey Deschanel miniseries. If you guys are looking for a fun version, watch that. To remake the movie again, I don't understand. but that's me. I don't get it. I don't see it. I thought this version was decently done. It had a solid cast. Who else was in it? Oh yeah, Alan Cummings is in it. Neil, what's his name? The bad guy.
Neil McDermott.
Yeah, and Kathleen Robertson's in it. Like, it has a solid cast,
Yeah.
and it's good. But you know,
only 3 episodes. Brits.
Yo, yeah,
I admit the one. What was the one that Franco did?
He did a Wizard of Oz.
Franco did a Wizard of Oz.
Franco did the prequel. He did the one of the story of the wizard, like how the Wizard of Oz becomes the wizard.
Oh,
yeah,
Oz, the great and powerful one.
Yeah,
he was in that? I don't even. I didn't watch it.
Yeah. Oz.
I remember. Yeah, you're right.
I admit that was an interesting telling, but even at that, I was like, you don't need to. It's one of those movies where people enjoy the first one so much that they want more, but it's like, no, the first one is a standalone film, and just leave it.
How do you make a prequel?
I would like to.
You have the 2 witches and him, and they're both fighting over him.
Yeah,
and the other one.
He falls in love with one of the witches, and because they break up, she becomes the evil witch.
Yeah, so he falls in love with a good one, and yeah, of course, yeah. So it's always
he falls in love with. Yeah, anyways, doesn't matter.
You know what else is unbelievable? Bow Wow wants to be in the WWE. That seems.
He only does that. No, only because of Bad Baby. Fuck him.
Bad Baby. What?
Don't let this happen. Don't become like Snoop. What he did in AEW a few weeks ago, where it looked like he did a splash off the top rope.
Yeah,
but
like
he's gonna break his hip. Like, don't.
Snoop is like 60 years old.
Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. Your lane is not wrestling.
Chill out. Yes,
it's true.
Snoop's been in WCW. Chill out.
Yeah, he has. But he's too old to be doing what he was trying to do like Dave was saying.
Bow Wow was doing it based off of Bad Bunny, who's gotten the WWE like $500,000 worth in merch sales since being on the Royal Rumble. Like,
wow.
Ago. Yeah, Bad Bunny did that.
Okay.
So that's why Bow Wow was trying to get in there.
Yeah, but
yeah.
I got to remind you guys, as someone one of the things I do for my job is I program like music, international music. And I gotta say, like, the Latin community supports like a Latin artist on a lower, like a Latin artist on the same level as Bow Wow will do a Latin like numbers on par with Bieber.
Yeah,
because like they, for some reason, when it comes to YouTube streams, they just watch, like they are into watching those streams. Those numbers are huge. And I remember when they put me on a project to try and like review all this stuff to like see how it works. And it really is, you can see it's the Latin music. It's just a cultural thing that we just support in a bigger way.
There's definitely a big subcultural following.
Yeah.
Actually, it's huge. It's weird, but it is huge.
And I think it's great, but I don't think that, like, if anything, I'm saying Bow Wow, just because Bad Bunny was able to do it, don't expect the same fame.
Yo, especially him and how much he gets shat on.
Yeah.
He gets wow. And he does it to himself too in some cases.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Wild. Guys, that's pretty much everything. That was the whole show. Is there anything you guys want to tell people? Anything you want to mention? I just want to remind people once again, if you guys are listening to this on Friday, like right when it comes out, make sure you guys go check out Detour 514. The Mixcloud is probably out right now that you guys can listen to. If it's not, just go and follow them on Instagram at Detour 514. Sign up for their speed dating event that's happening on Friday, February 13th. It's going to be dope. Shout outs to Wizzy, shout outs to Kay. If you guys are listening to our show right now and are watching it live and you have Clubhouse, once we're done, switch over to Clubhouse and go check out the Detour 514. They're doing a conversation with our friend Akeem Grams, who they're going to be talking about, black men and online dating. So go check it out. Anything else you guys wanted to say?
Does anyone know this reference that Tim Burton did of Wizard of Oz that Mike K said in the comments?
With Jim Carrey being is the wizard? Nah, I don't know, man. That sounds like I don't know.
Like Mike, I don't know which one that is.
I've never seen that.
Might have to take shrooms to see that.
I'm
one.
not trying to call you out, Mike. I don't know that.
That's the whole show, kids. Make sure you tune in to Geektastic Cypher on the weekly. Follow us on all the socials at Geektastic Cypher. And if you're watching this on YouTube right now, make sure you subscribe. If you're listening to this once again, make sure you subscribe, like, share, and go on and tell everybody what you think about the wonderful, wonderful world of Geektastic Cypher on, whether it be on Spotify or if you want to give us a review on Apple. iTunes.
Let's see that hat. Is that a Super Mario hat?
I think it is.
Oh no, I'm wearing my Spider-Man. I'm wearing a Super Mario shirt, but I'm wearing a Spider-Man cap.
Oh,
You
okay.
got
It's a
your
Spider-Man
matching.
fitting.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, folks.
I was gonna show people, but yeah. Anyways, thank you so much for tuning in, guys. We out.
Deuces.
Oh.